Q&A because I've been getting more and more questions on intermittent fasting, and there's a lot of repetition in the questions. I wanted to jump on this Q&A in order to get those answers out there to all of you, so that if you're doing intermittent fasting, you don't stumble, and we can learn from each other's mistakes or tips and tricks from each other. So let's get right into it. The first question was, if you're running late and you want to maintain an 8-hour eating window, what do you do? So do you give up on your 8-hour eating window and extend the window, or do you skip a meal? I think it's much better to extend the eating window. Your body remembers what you do most of the time, so consistency is key. If most days you're eating within an 8-hour window, you'll still get the benefits if on one day you go to a 9-hour or 10-hour window. And the studies on animals um, agree with this or support this finding. So if you are struggling on one day for whatever reason to get the calories in within a certain window of time, extend the window on that day, get the calories in. The reason I say that, apart from the actual benefits that you'll still be getting, is because if you don't eat, you're going to be hungry the next day, and it's going to be harder for you to maintain intermittent fasting. And if you can't maintain it, then you're not going to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to get the benefits. So it's much better for you if you can, one, get the calories in, and two, even if you extend the window, you're still going to get the benefits anyway. So eat even if it's not within the 8 hours. Second question was, what do you eat within that 8-hour window? It's very individual. It's not, intermittent fasting isn't meant to be prescriptive. You're not meant to say eat this, eat that, and then at lunch eat this, because one, we're all individuals. Two, our genetics, our gut bacteria is all individual, so we will respond to different diets differently. And three, it's not practical, it's not sustainable. So if I tell you to eat broccoli and cabbage and spinach all day long every day, you might be able to do that for a certain period of time and lose a lot of weight. But as soon as you start eating cakes and other things at weddings and parties again, you're going to gain all the weight back, and it's going to be demoralizing for you, and it reduces something called self-efficacy, which is your own belief in whether you'll be able to achieve something. So it's much better to do something which is practical, and that's what intermittent fasting is. It's a practical lifestyle, it's not a diet. And that's why research shows that diets don't work, is because they're restrictive, they stop you from having certain things, and that doesn't work out long term. So if you want to have a healthy lifestyle, if you want to do something that's going to help you reduce body fat but stay healthy as well, then intermittent fasting is the way to go. But eat what you want within that time. If you, on general, you can eat healthy, then that's great. So you want to have at least processed foods as possible, and you want to try and stay away from junk like fried foods, fast foods, and cook at home as much as you can. Fruits and veg on a daily basis is also really important, and water intake. Try to avoid liquid calories is another good tip. So try to avoid juices and Ribena and other things like that, and have water, or if you want fruit juice, then have some fruit instead, because it comes with the fiber, so you're less likely to consume too much of that. And if you're trying to gain weight, conversely, then you would do the opposite. So you'd have loads of liquid calories like smoothies, because that will help you gain weight, and loads of additional calories like this type of stuff, where you get lots of calories in a small serving, so it's easier to eat because your stomach doesn't have calorie receptors, it has stretch receptors. So thanks guys for those of you asking questions on the live chat. I'll try and get to those questions as we go as well. One question came in from Tom Wood. My shoulder keeps hurting and clicking, can you help? Yeah, so shoulder clicking is really common. It happens from the AC joint. So if you put your hand here and then move it up and down, that's where most likely you'll feel the clicking coming from. And it's about strengthening the rotator cuff. So the stronger your rotator cuff becomes, the less clicking and popping you'll get in the shoulder. The other thing is, if you're doing any aggravating tasks, so let's say you're a tennis player and you keep doing the same thing again and again, you're going to inflame the joint. So you want to avoid trying to click the joint, which is going to be really important. Back to the intermittent fasting. The last question on intermittent fasting, so we covered what to eat, we covered what happens if you overextend the window, and the last thing was how quick should you expect results if you're doing intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, I usually tell people to wait around 12 weeks to find the benefits. So do before and after picture, and you'll see how much weight you lose within the before and after pictures. But you should get a benefit within a couple of weeks, and sometimes within a couple of days, in terms of reducing belly fat and feeling less bloated. So bloating is normally the first thing that people are sensitive of, so whether it's less or whether it's more. Tom, thanks for joining into the live chat, and I'm glad you got some benefit. Do drop your comments in if you've got any other questions or concerns, and I'll produce a live video or another video tutorial on how to deal with the clicking for you within the coming few weeks. So please bear with me on that one. So that's the 3 questions answered on intermittent fasting that have come through. If you do have any more questions on intermittent fasting or generally on health, do send me a DM or comment, and I'll get back to you in future videos. Thanks for watching, guys.